So this is part 2 with Justin Eldridge. So I was talking with you about the music labels and the merchandise and stuff, and I want to touch base with you on a few questions.
Yep.
There's somebody out there. I won't give names because I'm going to get shouted at. But he's doing Hatchet and charms and things like that, and I heard little birdie told me that he actually got handed a cease and desist from
Psychopathic. Yeah, I've heard.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about.
But this guy, he's still doing these things and whatnot. But the music that I do with people, I try and help them out with charms and stuff.
Yeah.
I get them at different prices than most. I don't do all the things here, and like I said, I don't want to get too much about what I do with like I said, I've got some major music artists
Yeah.
that I'm in talks with,
Yeah.
without putting out any names. But have you thought about putting out merchandise? You said you're doing a free album.
Yeah.
Are you gonna do merchandise?
Well, right now we're trying to build the fan base up. We're trying to get people to come check it out, which is really hard. It's a lot harder to build a fan base than people think.
Is that because of the amount of music artists that are out there
That's
trying
exactly
to get their own merchandise and things like that? Like, there's people who will push their merchandise. Like, there's this one guy, I haven't never heard of him. I've never ever heard of him until he was offering up a free charm, like a contest or whatever. And I've got charms. Like I said, I sell charms, but I'll go out and buy. Like, if I can win a free charm, cool. I'm still gonna keep it. I'm not gonna turn around and flip it for more money. If I get a charm from somebody, I'll spend money on a record label.
Yeah.
I'll spend money on music,
Yeah.
no problem. Whether it's somebody I'm working with or it's somebody who I admire for music, don't think that I'm dogging on Psychopathic Records by any means by saying I don't have the money to buy their albums, so they all suck.
Yeah.
If an album's good, I'll spend $150 on an album if it's got good music, and even if I've already got all the songs or even most of the songs, I still want it to have it because I want the music artists to make money. Right. I'm out there to support these guys. I'm not the bad guy trying to bootleg. I'm not the bad guy trying to So I stepped on someone's toes when I made the FBI charms.
Yeah.
But no one ever got back to me on that. I offered to stop doing my charms, for Psychopathic, because they called me on the Hatchet Man rosaries that I was doing.
Right.
The Juggalos and rosaries, like I did this all bronze Wraith one from Shangri-La. And they gave me a cease and desist, and I was like, I bought these charms from you guys, and when I got them, even if it wasn't straight from Hatchet Gear, it was from Amazon. It was from all these places that it was officially licensed.
Mm-hmm.
So I took that and said that it's officially licensed by you guys, because just because I buy it does not mean it's no longer officially licensed.
Right.
I did my own beading designs, resold them.
Yeah.
They already got their cut. If I want to go and get, charms from my charm maker or whatever, I can do whatever I want as soon as I have the charms.
Yeah.
But because it's from a major record label and I'm buying their merchandise, like, well, you can't do that.
Right. That goes back to Psychopathic being a money grabbing nowadays. It goes right back to that. Back in the day, back in the 90s, if you're selling Psychopathic charms, they give you props. They would. They'd be like, oh, thanks for helping us out. Violent J said himself, you can't buy it, steal it. Nowadays, everybody's stealing our music. We're not making money. He told us to do it.
He even did this thing in his book where Shaggy was like, this is how you steal shit.
Yeah.
But it's okay for us to steal from liquor stores and cartons of cigarettes.
But we can't steal from them. That's what they were telling you. You can steal. You can go out and steal from Walmart, but you can't fucking.
And this is how you do it.
And this is how you do it. And then when you turn around and steal from them, they cry foul. It's like, come on, guys, seriously.
Right, and that's why I was like, you want to know something? So I played ball with them. Here's what I did. I called Jason, and from Psychopathic.
Yeah.
I hope you're hearing this. I sent him emails. He goes, okay, I got the ones on your Heart and Wings charm. I got the email on this. I got the email on that. But I never received the one about our original thing with the rosaries. I said, dude, I had made these rosaries in a year. I sent you guys a business proposal in the mail. My friend Graham, who helped me out, can vouch for me. He's a 55-year-old religious man. He's a Seventh-day Adventist.
Yeah.
Pretty sure he's not going to lie.
Right.
You could ask this guy. And he'll tell you, I printed off these pictures for him.
Yeah.
I helped him write the business proposal, and he'll even tell you the only part that I did that Kyle even said on this business proposal was like the first sentence because I worded it horribly.
Yeah.
So he helped me out with that, and he helped me out with business proposals. And I was like, I want these to be manufactured. I just want a little something for it.
Yeah.
And they never got back to me, so I was like, fuck it, I'll just sell them.
Yeah.
And then I get a cease and desist a year and a half later after I've never even touched that shit. I was like, okay, but here's what I'm working on now. I'm working on these FBI charms. We're going to send them to you. It's got the abomination symbol on it, but I adjusted it so that way it looked more like an anarchy symbol.
Yeah.
and I took the Hatchet man, I gave him a chainsaw.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom helped me out with this, you know, because she wanted me to succeed, and she went, yeah, that's true family. When your family, like you said, your mom was up there and things like that. You know, most kids are embarrassed by that. You know, it's like, oh, my mom was there and it was really awkward. No, our family was there, dude, and they helped us out.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And you know, like with you, your mom was up on that stage, dude. That's awesome. Kudos to you and your mother. So shout out to Justin's mom. That's awesome shit.
I love you,
that's cool. But when I did this and I sent them the pictures, I never heard back from them. And I actually got a call back from my mother, and she was like, "It's not their trademark. The Hatchet man with the chainsaw, not their trademark.
Right.
It's the one with the meat cleaver."
Yeah. But the fact is that there was a Hatchet man there that they got all butthurt about.
But here's the thing though, I showed them pictures of the charms, not interested. I waited a month and a half, 2 months. I've got 6 of these sitting here, and I'm like, you know, I'm trying to sell these. People are trying to fight up against the FBI. If you guys want, I'll send you guys a cut. And I said that to everybody on YouTube. I'll send Twisted a cut, and I'll send ICP a cut. I tried talking to Twisted on Twitter. I'm like, hey, look, listen, this is the charms that I gave you guys. Both Abominations charms, haven't sold a single one, and both of them went to Twisted. Okay, one got lost in the crowd because somebody decided to snag it. Dicks, and I did a video on that as well. But Jamie Madrox got it. This girl even helped me out. She was a girl shorter than me. I couldn't, you know, people are taller than me. Yeah. I'm 5'5". Yeah. So this girl grabs me, pushes me forward. You know, she could have jacked that charm for me, no problem, like somebody else did. But no. Madrox was like, you know, trying to give me daps. I was like, no, dude. He was like, you don't want my daps? Like, I'm so confused right now. I just kind of had this look to him.
You probably heard him, man. I probably heard him. He was like, oh.
Yeah, I was like, here you go. And he looked at the charm, dude. He held it in his hand, right in front of like one of the cameras. It's got a blinking red light. I was hoping it'd be somewhere for him to see this. I handed him, and his face just lit up like a fucking Christmas tree. Yeah. He went, that's the shit. And he stuck it in his pocket. I'm like, you know, I wanted to do business with the Abomination charms with you guys. I was going to sell the charms, send you guys a cut. Yeah. There's been several music artists. I'm like, hey, look, listen, I'll give you guys royalty money. I've got no problem doing that. But if you guys don't hear back from me or whatever, I'm going to, you know, if I've already got these set up and whatnot, I'm going to do these. So I decided to go a different way. If there is a charm out there who, you know, that I'm able to pay homage to. Like, let's say I make a straight jacket charm, but it doesn't say straight jacket or anything, but it's a charm that symbolizes straight jacket to me in a way. And I think that it'll sell. I'm still going to send you guys a check. If I can find your guys' address, I'll still send you guys a check. It's going to be certified mail, whatever. I sent a certified letter to Psychopathic Records about the FBI charms. So I sent them an email. I says, you guys have 30 days to get back to me. If I don't hear back from you in 30 days, that tells me I'm going to be able to do this. They had issues with Blaze. I'm like, out of courtesy from me, I said 30 days. And I was not kidding.
You gave them plenty of time.
And I gave them an extra 2 weeks. An extra 2 weeks because of the whole shit that was going on with Blaze. I felt bad. Especially for Blaze, and however that happened, that was still poor business on both parts.
Yeah, I felt bad for Blaze on that. Didn't even know.
Yeah,
he had like, no idea.
You know, and you know, but somebody also said, you know, he wasn't wearing a Hatchet Man or anything. You know, I'm like, with the whole Hatchet Man thing, he probably, because it's funny, him and Twisted, you know, they stopped wearing the Hatchet Man charms right around the time they got busted for weed in Tampa Bay. So you'd think that, you know, they were on probation because of the whole gang thing.
They probably can't wear it because if you wear gang-related paraphernalia, it's automatic violation.
No. And then there's this whole thing where Twisted can't even discuss why they were off the label and everything. Like, it's old news and things like that. And I support Twisted.
I support Twisted 100%, man. You know, as I said, when they left, the first thing I said was good. You know, they surpassed ICP. And they surpassed ICP in less the time it took ICP to get where they are at. You know, and I love Jamie Madrox. I love Monoxide. You know, I love them both, man. They're like, you know, honestly, I think they're gonna do some good things, man. I really do. You know, I hope to God, you know, everybody just goes out and buys that album. Everybody go out and buy it, man. You know, we want to help them out. We want them to start Magic. We want them to start Magic Ninjas, man. I want them to start that shit up.
I'm going to buy their album.
Yeah,
a New Nightmare. I'm gonna buy it. However songs are on there. I haven't even listened to the new one yet, but I saw the intro they did, like their little trailer for it, and I absolutely loved it. I'm like, Twisted's going in a whole new direction. I can't even consider it really horrorcore. I mean, yeah, it's rap music, but it's got another element in it.
They sounded different. Monoxide definitely sounded really different, and I was like, that's different, man. You know, Monoxide always had the same voice and everything, but he had a little bit darker voice, it seemed. And I was like, that's different, man. That's good.
It's like a New Nightmare, and they're actually keeping that element. They're not calling it, you know, something else and then doing like a whole different tone. Like when I heard Mighty Death Pop and they came out and they said it's gonna be the most controversial album. There's gonna be people called out. So you roasted and you were talking about killing Chris Brown for beating a woman. Meanwhile, Tila Tequila got her ass handed to her by a bunch of juggalos and you don't say shit.
Bitch got hit in the face with a brick. Hey, they warned her though. They warned her that like, we'll give you your money. You don't have to perform. Nah, I'm gonna go out there and perform. Yeah. Tila, you're in a... If you go to a show, that's one thing I love about Juggalos. We're not afraid to tell you how we feel. If you go up there and you start doing your little bubblegum pop shit, that bitch ate a brick because of that shit. And then she wants to turn around and sue Psychopathic Records. They warned her. We'll give you your money. It was like 7.
Even Violent J came out and said, don't hit Tila Tequila. Don't hurt her.
Yeah, nobody's going to listen to that because nobody wants to hear that crap. You know?
But if you don't want to hear that, though, should you be there? If you don't want to listen to it, shouldn't you go back to your tent? Or
right. No. People wanted to be there to fucking troll her ass. That's what they were.
There's difference between trolling and mocking somebody and throwing, you know, empty bottles or whatever than a brick.
Yeah.
Don't you think that's a bit overkill?
It is, but like, you know, that was just, you know, one bad apple in a bunch. You know.
Exactly.
They, you know,
but you'd think that they dog on this person as much as they dogged on Chris Brown for hitting Rihanna. Well, we don't even know the whole story behind that, but there was footage from this. Yeah. There was footage, there was eyewitness accounts of this happening.
Pictures of her face and shit, yeah, you know.
And poor Tila, you know, I'm not a fan of hers at all. You know, she took it like a champ. You know, yeah, she said she was going to turn around and sue Psychopathic, but she took off her shirt and everything. I saw the picture of her. She's still up there singing, gushing blood. Yeah. And the first thing that came to mind when I saw that, and yeah, I'm going to say it, Johnny Rotten and Sid Vicious. Dude.
Yeah.
That's all I could think. I'm like,
that chick had balls. She had
so
balls.
I give her props, but you know what I'm saying, if you're going to talk bad about beating a woman when it's something we don't even know about, you know, she could have started, he could start it, whatever.
Yeah.
When you throw a brick at a girl's face, shouldn't you dog on that person first, saying that's fucked up that you did that?
I thought it was fucked up that I did it, but I thought it was kind of funny. I was like, ah, man, you know. And then I was like, that sucks. But I was like, yeah, kind of saw it. Like that's kind of saw.
There's a mixed thing there. You know what I mean? If it had been an empty Faygo bottle, or if it had been a half full Faygo bottle, or even a full,
it never would have been that big of a deal at all.
Right, but if it was a brick, I'm like, that's a little overkill. We did not even do that to Moonshine Bandits. If anyone deserved a brick to the face, it's Moonshine Bandits. You guys are probably going to hear this. Oops. But, you know, you guys went out there and took Kung Fu's spot. Kung Fu should have been out there just before ICP. Because he could have hyped that shit up and everything. And I think Kung Fu, at the next tour that he does, whatever it might be, he should headline it and be the main attraction. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Kung Fu. And what I'd love to see is, like, you know, I went to Halloween in 2008. It was ICP. It was, you know, Anybody Killing It and Blaze. And they all came out at the end of the set, and they all did songs from, you know, Sticky Icky Situations and things like that. And they switched the lyrics around, you know. And then when we got Too Dope and Violent J instead of we got E-Shaman and Violent J, it was Too Dope and Violent J. Yeah. And they did it cool, too, because they, you know, they set everyone up for it. Like, just the way they posed, you could tell they were going to fuck with that.
Yeah.
But at the Palladium, there wasn't any of that. Like, I went to 2008 Hollow Wicked in Detroit, Michigan, and I walked out of there with my blind friend. Yeah. We got in there early because of him. Mm-hmm. You know, I didn't expect that. You know, that's actually how we met. And I says, you know, dude, you know, this is great. I'm glad we're doing this. Yeah, we're not going to get the barricade, but, you know, this one guy comes up, this security guy. He's like, you with him? I says, yeah, I'm with him. He goes, you two come with me. I'm like, Steve, you don't have drugs on you, do you? He's like, no, why? What's going on right now? I says, dude, we're going in the building. He's like, oh, could it have been because of my backpack? And they wanted us and everything, and took his backpack off, and it was cool. It was like, do you mind if we put that in the cabinet over there? And they just happened to be like this jacket place to like hang up jackets and stuff. And like, yeah, leave your backpack right there. It's cool.
That's cool.
And when I went down to go see Public Image Limited, the guy was cool too, the security guy, because he was like, you know, you can't have food and drinks in here. He says, where's your house at? And I says, New Hampshire. And he goes, I'm not sending you back to New Hampshire without food and drinks. Take that upstairs and just check in your backpack.
That's cool.
And I looked at the guy and says, man, some other security guard somewhere else could have been a complete and utter dick to me.
Right.
You know. So when I was thinking about all this, and I was thinking about you guys over at Straight Jacket.
Yeah.
You know, I can honestly say that, you know, the way you mingled with your fans and things like that, that'll catch on. Yeah. I honestly think that, you know, the way you guys do things, and, you know, with the merchandise and with the free albums and stuff.
Yep.
Because I know a similar music artist,
Yeah.
or music artist out there is going to do the similar thing.
Yeah.
Because there is no money in music anymore. But if someone's loyal enough to listen to your music
Yeah.
and enjoy it and spread it like a virus,
Yeah.
then you're going to sell merchandise.
That's what that's why I always say, spread straight jacket records, spread the sickness. It was fine too. How we came up with the horror coast to coast mixtape is there's a company that does hip hop coast to coast, and I remember years ago, back when I did just hip hop, I looked to try to get into it, and they charged people like $50 to do a song, and I was sitting there talking to Hodge, what are we gonna do for our first shit, whatever. I'm like, I was talking to Lawrence Strauss, St. Clair. I was talking to him one night, and I'm like, what do you think about horror coast to coast mixtape? What do you mean? I'm like, instead of just a hip hop coast to coast, straight up horror coast to coast mixtape. So get everybody from whatever state we can. I was like, that's a pretty good idea. Talked to Hodge, and Hodge was just like, yeah, we're doing that. And we announced it, and all that shit.
I saw the thing for it. Dude, that was professional. Yeah, that was well done.
Yeah. The first the first couple people that sent us tracks, it was just you never realized how bad music people can be. They'll send you a song that they recorded with a $5 mic in their fucking basement where it's echoey and shit, and then they think it's like $100,000 song, and it's like they said it to us, and then they're like, "Did I make the cut?" And like me, I'm honest. Like, you honestly think you made the cut? Like, I'll tell you right now, I was like, you're irritating me because you're wasting my time. And I'm like, I'm not trying to dog on you. I was like, just practice, man. Work harder. I'm like, I give you props, man. You're coming to me. You're giving me your music, and you want me to put it on my mixtape. That's cool, man. Give it a year. See what you got next year. The two
famous words: build more.
Build more. Exactly. Yeah. We had I can't remember what her name is, but we had a girl send us a track, and we're like, oh, there's not too many chicks that do horrorcore nowadays. So we got all excited. Hodge and I got all excited. She sent the track, and like, I'm not gonna say it was terrible because she's probably gonna watch this. I don't want to be too rude, but like it just seemed like she was talking. She wasn't really rapping, and then she had this guy on the track with her who was trying to like rap like Tech Nine, and he was fumbling his words and everything like that. And I got irritated, and so did Hodge, because it's like, you sent us something that's not even professionally done. It tried to be professionally done. You're fucking up words while you're doing it and everything else. You honestly think that's gonna make the cut? And it's like, try harder. Do it again. Send us again. They didn't send us another song. I think, matter of fact, they unliked us. Some people just can't take the criticism, and that's my thing. I've done this for so long.
What's the difference? Where's the fine line between criticism and having an ego? Because I know that criticism is an awesome thing. I've taken criticism, and I've been told, absolutely not. The way that that stuff is, we want it professionally done. And I went, you want to know something? Cool. I understand that completely. Yeah. Let me go back to the drawing boards. Let me find something that will be more professional.
Yeah.
And the things that I've already made, I'll try. I'll do prototypes. I'll do these things. And people have told me flat out straight, I appreciate what you're trying to do, but the way we're gonna do things, it's gonna be a mass quantity.
Yeah.
And I was like, see, that's something I need to know, because I could, how I do things, or at least was doing things, now that I got this criticism, if you take it and turn it into a positive and be like, you want to know something? Right. He's absolutely right. What if I do get an order? It's like, hey, I want 500 of your shirts. I'm going, give me 3 months, and I'll have 250 for you.
Yeah.
But it dawned on me, like, this person even said to me, look at what you're doing with your charms.
Yep.
Would you like to flip that into $3,000?
Right.
I would love to flip that into $3,000. And he's like, then do it this way.
Yeah.
And this person even said, let me send you something. Let me show you something. And he was giving me advice on high-resolution files and everything. And I'm talking with this person back and forth. And he's just helping me. That's criticism. I didn't feel an ego as much as this person deserves to have one. As much as, Kung Fu Vampire, as much as Kosher, as much as Mars, as much as all these guys. They deserve an ego. But there are some people who don't have that. They just have criticism. Who do you think would be the best person to say, without maybe even saying names, who has more of an ego, more so than criticism. Because like what you're saying, strong criticism, because people don't. If you're light with people, like they taught us in school.
Yeah.
You know, my child, not my kid. It was the battle cry. Not my kid. My kid is perfect. My kid is that. So everybody wins.
Yeah.
Everybody wins. Whether you lose, you win.
Yeah.
You know, oh, it's 15-0. You're still a winner. You came in second place.
Yeah. So you can't do that because, you know, because then you're always going to think you're the best. You know, and even with my kids, I don't go easy on them. You know, you gotta have so they know. You know, they know. You know, you're not 100%. I want you to do 95 next time. You're at 90. I want you to do 95 next time. You can try, but you need to do it better. You know, and it's some people just can't take it. They, you know, especially it's hard. I can see it's hard over the internet because obviously you can't, you know, hear how they're saying and shit like that. Or you know, it's like sending somebody a text. You know, we need to talk. You know, first thing comes to your mind. You know, your girlfriend sends you a text. We need to talk. Oh shit.
Every
single
time.
And then most of the time, and most of the time it's just like, oh, you know, I just didn't talk to you today, so I want to talk to you. And then you're like, oh, okay, you know, it's just like that one girl. I think she took it so hard that she just, I'm like this, and you know, but did her own thing. And I think the problem is there's people out there that will, you know, if somebody's putting out their music and, you know, say, you know, for now it's garbage. They got people that are like, oh, you're the greatest. You're the greatest. You know, you get 100 people telling you you're the greatest.
And that's why we have shitty contestants on American Idol.
That's I don't know. I don't watch American Idol, but
well, think about it. You've even seen the commercial where the person's like, oh, yeah. It's like, how did you even think you had that? My parents said I was a good singer. That's not why you wouldn't sing in the kitchen anymore.
Exactly. Yeah.
But you know, like you were saying, it's the criticism thing. But I want to know about, like, you know, more of the criticism. Like, you know, how did you take hard criticism? I'm sure you've taken it a dozen times. I'm sure you've had it.
I still get criticized to this day. You know, when I first started out, Jay Sellers, he grabbed me and he went through my lyrics and like destroyed it. Completely destroyed everything. It was just like, no, you're a fucking idiot. No, what is this shit? You know, da da da. And I'm just like, I'm sitting there the whole time like, man, this guy's a fucking asshole. And then like after a while, I'm like, he's actually showing me something. And I'm like, damn. I'm like, and you know, I thank him to this day because it's like if he didn't criticize every little thing I did, like the dude is a fucking perfectionist when it comes to music. If it's not perfect, it's not going. That's how it is, you know. And
like, there's been a couple of verses I've done with Joey Quartas, and some of the stuff, like I said, I'm just in the back. You know, I don't want to be the hype man. I even had a gimmick where I was like the guy who, for the skits, to explain it, like you said, to a storyline thing. I was the guy who was going to just go ahead and be like the initiative.
Yep.
Like, I was going to be the person that, you know, he was coaching.
Yep.
And so I'd fuck everything up. That was my thing. I'd fuck things up. But when it came to the music and the verses and stuff, he was like, dude, your lyrics are great, but it's how you do your punches. It's how you do this that you need to work on. But I almost felt like I wasn't criticized enough. Like, I'm listening to it, and I don't think it's that good, but because he's got a certain way he likes doing his music, it kind of fit.
Yeah. Yeah, Joey, when we first started talking, I criticized him a lot. I really did. And I think it pissed him off, but he took it in a positive way, and he's gotten better since then. You know, and like at first he was kind of like, who the fuck's this guy? And it's like, Hodge is like, yo, this guy's been doing music for 13 years, man. And like, listen to what he has to say. And you know, he's taken some advice, and I'm pretty sure he still thinks I'm an asshole because I criticized every little thing. Like when you were getting his T-shirts and shit, I'm like, all right, you're signed with us. Who's this dude that's selling your merchandise and you're signed underneath us? And he's like, oh, you know, that's Kyle, you know, da 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 da. And I'm like, all right, man. I was like, but like nothing against you. I was like, but we're not receiving a cut. And then like after a while, I was just you know, I mean, just your merchandise is your merchandise. I don't give a shit. You know, that's just how it was.
I even when I posted up, I think I posted up 2 of Joey Quartas things, maybe 2 of them. The only one I remember was Born to Be an Abortion.
Yeah. And
that was before I knew anything about Straight Jacket or anything. And I even posted, this is not for sale yet.
Yeah. I remember I saw that shit and I was like, at first I like because when we first got into it, I was, you know, I told Hodge, I was like, I'm gonna have to be an asshole for a little while to see how everything, you know. Everybody's gonna know that I'm not fucking joking around. That's how I want to be. You know, I'm a serious businessman. That's how I am. You know, and you know, Joey, I think I pissed him off quite a bit. You know, he was pretty irritated with me a couple times because, especially when I was criticizing him and shit, I'm like, look, man, yeah, this is good. You need better production. I'm like, you got to flow better. You know, whatever. And you know, he's gotten better since then. You know, he did the what is it? The My Room remix.
Yeah.
It's good. It was real good. You know, it's really good. And
that's actually me doing the light vocals for
for
the singing.
I gave him mad props. So yeah, nice job, man. I gave him mad props for that because I was like, that's good, man. That's good. You know, you definitely stepped up the game. That's what you do. You know, you take your balls, you throw them on the table, and you go to work. That's what he did.
Yeah, what he did too is like, I can't sing, so I kind of need you and your light voice to do it.
Yeah.
But for some reason, my voice does not register in the microphone. It's like the microphone that doesn't want my voice, or the way I'm doing my voice.
It's probably what it is. It's not sensitive enough. You gotta there's a thing you can do through the computer to turn it.
Well, Joe does it just fine. Like, it registers everything he does, but you hear my verse for like the first time, it's like, turn it up all the way for a second, and then all you hear is the static and like the beat, and then you can barely hear my voice in like a subliminal line.
Yep.
I was like, well, maybe that's what I could do, is subliminal line. So we just scrapped it and had to start over again, which it was an irritation.
Yeah, Joe's good shit, man. I like him. You know, I've actually never even met him face to face yet at all.
Really?
Yeah, that's why I was saying, hey, where is he at? Why don't you have him come over? Come on, Joey, what are you doing? Fucking, what is it, lunchtime? Come on now, you know?
Yeah, I talked to Joe. He asked me what I was doing on Saturday. I says, you know, not much. Well, what's up? And he asked me if I want to do something. I says, yeah, and I hadn't heard from him. Yeah. I'm thinking he might be on Facebook. I haven't checked my phone for text messages yet.
That dude is the hardest guy ever to get a hold of. I remember one time because Hodge is like, hey, because I was like, I want to sign Joey. So, you know, Joey's the first artist we signed to the label. I want to sign Joey. All right. I'm like, give me Joey's number. So I texted him, I'm like, hey, give me a call like 8 o'clock tonight. I want to talk business with you. All right. Didn't call me. At the time, I was like, I'm not gonna chase people. I'm not gonna chase them. And Hodge like a couple days later, yeah, I signed him. It's all good. I'm like, well, what the fuck happened? Oh, he forgot. Forgot? Whatever, man. That's cool though. It's funny though. Really funny. He's a good guy. We also have Wicked Mac signed to the label. Wicked Mac is a very old friend of mine. From, you know, we've known each other for like 14 years. He did a song with us, the Cell Block Psychos, called 4 to the Core, which is going to be on the mixtape. And that dude is amazing, completely amazing. We're just trying to get him some recording equipment. He lives in Mass. We're trying to get him some recording equipment so we can get some shit out, so Wicked Mac can do his thing. You know, he does he does what we call horror hop. We call horror hop. It's a mixture of hip hop and horror, straight up. Like, he'll come at you with a hip hop beat and be rapping about horror shit, you know. And it's really good, really good. Matter of fact, speaking of Cell Block Psychos, just got the word out from Hodge that after the mixtape, we're going to be re-releasing Cell Block Psychos Lockdown album.
No shit.
Yeah, we're going to be re-releasing it. We're going to have to sell it because we got to make some money. It'd probably be like $5, you know, whatever. We're not sure if we're going to make hard copies right now. Right now, we're not really making enough money to make hard copies, but it'll be available for download. So that's an exclusive right there.
That's awesome.
Yep. I forgot. I was just Hodge and I were just talking about it the other day, and he's like, yeah, man. He's like, I want to re-release. He's like, can we do it? Because I talked to Lunatic, and he's like, yeah, man. You know, Lunatic's doing his own thing now. You know, and he's like, yeah, man, I don't care.
We got a release date for this?
Not yet. We don't have a date for it yet, but it is soon, coming soon. You know, so if you have, and we have Cell Block Psychos videos are on YouTube also. There's 3 videos. We got 4 to the Core that has Wicked Mac in the video. We have Do You Think Bam song, and we have fucking crazy ass song. All 3 of them are on YouTube right now. So you can check those out. Let's see what else we got on there. Hodge wanted me to announce this to everybody. We have a secret person that Hodge is putting on the mixtape. Not saying who it is until you won't know until you download it.
Oh, no shit.
You will not know who it is until you download it. My personal opinion on this artist is I didn't want to touch it, but he wanted to create controversy. So let him do it. You know, it's cool, man. Whatever. But yeah, he wanted to create controversy, and this guy will definitely create controversy. We'll probably get a lot of people that will be pissed off, or we might get a lot of people who are like, "Hey man, that's cool." You know, I never know. I don't know. I'm not sure. It's gonna be a mixed reaction. As I feel, this artist could either make or completely break the mixtape. But we're willing to take that chance because if you don't take a chance in business, you're never gonna go anywhere. You know.
Well, thanks for having me on the show. Really, thanks for being on the show, and thanks for letting me say my piece on this. Like I said, I did a little more talking than I usually do, and I greatly appreciate that.
Cool, man. Don't worry about it.
Cell Block Psychos. Check them out on YouTube. Take care, guys.